All right. 5, 4,
I never know
3,
if we're recording or not.
2,
Always.
1.
Scanning on the microphone. Scat.
Wildly uninteresting podcasting
Thing.
Yeah.
Welcome
Hi.
to the show for episode 36. Yo. You hear me?
36, yo.
36.
yo.
Getting up there in the numbers. I'm feeling good. Double digits. Can't wait for episode 100. And then I want episode 1,000. You know what I mean? I'm just never happy.
And then
never fucking happy.
9,999. And
Yeah.
then we're at the limit. But then we'll have a limit break episode.
Limit break.
That's probably why I'm an
Oh,
addict,
shit.
is because I'm always wanting that other thing.
Uh-huh.
You know why, though? I think we've been taught from a young age that, like, happiness is an obtainable thing, right?
Is it
Happiness
not?
is like an inner peace
Like a
towards
tangible.
whatever.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
you can actually obtain
Yeah.
Alright.
happiness.
Like you
By,
could go to the store and get it.
Yeah. And a lot of people, that's what they do. They buy like Birkin bags and Coach purses and diamond rings and necklaces. In
Yeah.
reality, that's not what makes you happy.
I was walking around the store this morning and I thought, oh man, I can't buy happiness. And then I started thinking about people that are stupid, like as it goes with like testing and shit, you know, like they flunk out of school and stuff, but what if they've already realized and they're all like, oh, you can't buy happiness, but they're like light years ahead of me in that thought.
Yeah, they're just like,
Like
fuck.
they don't understand math at all, but but they're beyond
Oh,
me in
shit.
the happiness level, and that's kind of
door's
upsetting.
Yes.
That's all. It goes back to everybody's like, oh, what is your definition of happiness? And which I thought comes with like money and all. I guess when we were like growing up, my parents and everything, we saw like money was the way out of everything. Like money, if we had more money, we could pay these bills, buy this, buy that, whatever. Recently though, I found that we've have like a substantial amount of money in the bank, right?
Right.
That number changed nothing. It didn't
No.
change the way I felt about life. It didn't change. It didn't like help me figure shit out. It didn't help none of that.
Not like life
Mood.
was just like, oh, everything makes sense
Hey,
now.
you have money now, Ashby.
Yeah.
Here's your joy.
All right.
It didn't help me like breathe easier or any of that shit.
But don't you think you'd breathe harder if you didn't have money? Like you'd
Yeah.
have the fucked upness and you're broke?
Yeah. I guess that all depends on too what you want out of life, because money can buy you a lot of things, but can it buy you the things that you can obtain without money?
Right.
Like
The stuff
friendship
that you
and love.
want.
I'll get it.
No, I'll get it.
You got the
like-
shit you need. You could buy some of the shit you want.
Like yeah.
But it sucks in that waiting period.
Right.
It's like you either wait for something to come out of the blue or you just go searching.
Or you go
And you're like,
searching.
all right, maybe I'll find something, maybe I won't.
Right. Well, we talked about like creating and just creating to create. And that's what makes me happy. I don't have to have any goal in mind. Like, I think I fixed a bunch of stuff on that van we got, right? I just repairing some stuff. That makes me happy.
Yeah.
Taking shit apart. That makes me happy.
Since I've been doing his laundry, I have cleaned out his pockets of electrical, like wire nuts and like a washer and like here's some screws. And I've
Here's
been
some ghibli doos.
yeah,
Ghibli, dude.
and what's its and who's its. And
Yeah.
I've been fucking collecting them. Well, I had 3 bags full, like Kroger bags
God.
full. So I got in the van when I got home and I separated them because it's got little compartments.
Oh,
so
hell
you
yeah.
can. Oh yeah, and that shit made me so happy.
Yeah.
I was just thrilled. Like this van is legit. Just happy as a clam.
Does it have speakers in it?
It didn't.
That's funny that you
Yeah.
asked that fucking question. Did you know?
No.
No.
Damn.
No, so it did have speakers, but they were all busted. So I went to Walmart, yo,
Yeah,
and
check out
I
this
went to
fucking
buy.
story.
I went to buy speakers. I bought these like Pioneer ones. I thought they were pretty good, which you can't get a great sound because they're only like 6.5-inch round speakers, you know.
But it'll do.
Yeah, and I bought them at fucking Walmart. I get home and I'm like putting them in. I realized that somebody at the store or whatever had put in a different set of speakers. So it was some Boss fake ass brand of speakers, and I got home with it. Went to take it back to a different Walmart. I'll give them that. Went to take it back to a different Walmart. This guy was like, nope, we won't take these back because they're not the right one. I was like, I know. Let me explain the story, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, so long story short, man, everybody, I talked to all the managers. I talked to nobody. I even called corporate and was like, this is fucking bullshit. You stole my money from me. And
Because there was
didn't
like a $30 price difference.
yeah.
That's some bullshit. Like
Yeah.
someone at the fucking store did that and
the-
trying to screw someone over.
The assistant manager in the automotive, his name was Jim, right? So I go back to the automotive because they were like, Jim already said no, and Jim's the decider of
Jim
this. And I'm
Bundy,
like, fuck
you're
you.
a bitch.
Fucking
So
Jim
I went
Bundy,
back there
bitch.
and I was like, hey, Jim, what's your last name? And he was like, it's just Jim. I said, so like Seal or Prince, you piece of shit? And he was like, just Jim. I'm like, go fucking say, dude, you lifeless motherfucker.
Yeah, I found that bitch on the internet. It took me 10 minutes. Good job, Seal.
Lifeless piece of shit. Has
Wait, are we
no-
talking about Seal or Jim?
Jim.
Okay.
Yeah.
has nothing going on in his life, so he's just like, he could make that decision where, oh, I'm not going to return these, right?
Yeah.
And that made him feel better about himself. He's
So
like,
just
oh, I can
steal 'em.
decide this.
Dude,
that's what-
I told him, I said, you need to just go back sometime, take all the speakers out of one of the boxes, put the speakers in the correct box, and return those.
So I finally got them back, right? I got my speakers and I put them in and stuff, but I was so tempted to take them back to that Walmart now that I had the right speakers and exchange them anyways.
Yeah.
Just
He's like,
because
I got
he's
the
an
right ones
asshole.
now.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Just out of spite. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
You should go
He's
in
an
and dump
ass.
milk on the baby clothes.
Milk
Yeah,
on
so
the
he
baby
went
clothes.
to the Walmart he bought them from originally and got them. They took them back because they were reasonable people.
Yeah, they were nice. But when I guess when you run into people, man, that you like managers at fast food, I assume are the same way, and they hate fucking. I would hate life too. You know, you spend all this time at Walmart and you've worked your way up to assistant manager of
In
the
the
automotive
department.
Like, what kind of true piece of shit are you? And then you just make other people's lives harder. This could have been a great decision. Needless to say, the fucking speakers were a brand that Walmart sells, so it wasn't like I was bringing back fucking, some off-brand piece of shits. But anyways, that's the story about speakers. So now it has speakers, but I'm tempted to take them back anyways. Just
yeah,
out
take
of
them
spite.
back. Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck this guy.
It could have been some crackheads, though.
Yeah.
Like they had speakers that didn't work, so they bought the good ones and
yeah.
then switched them and then took the
They
box
just
back.
so happen to have a Walmart brand of speaker.
Sneaky
Yeah, I
I
fucking,
guess it could be.
sneaky fucking
I bet it was
crackheads.
Jim
Jim.
Bundy.
Oh,
Fucking Jim Bundy.
Old
Crackheaded
bitch.
Jim Bundy.
I
So
won't tell you
that-
my
that
name.
begs
Probably
the
a
question,
pedo, too.
That begs the question, like, do you think that, because I'm a very nice guy, especially in conversation, like, yo, I'm, yes, sir, no, sir, blah, blah, until you, like, start being a cocksucker, and then I'm going to be a cocksucker back, right? But generally speaking, even when I'm being a
You
cocksucker, I'm
can't
kind
fight
of nice about it.
cocksucking with cocksucking.
So, you think that if you present in a nice way, you get more shit done, or do the people that raise a bunch of hell and, like, call everybody cocksuckers and pieces of shit, like, do you think those people get more done in those situations, or what?
I do. I was thinking about essentially the same thing in the same store, which
Yeah, of
it
course,
was
'cause
Walmart
Walmart
because they
always
were open.
brings
But
bad
like whenever
emotions.
I don't know, I was a kid, the Rents got me that Blur album,
Yeah.
and it fucking sucked. So Mom took it back and just started yelling.
Shut up.
and
Immediately?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
got a refund on it.
Yep.
That's crazy.
If she hadn't started yelling, I don't think it would have happened.
I know me personally because where I work, people are either solid or they're fucking assholes. The second you're an asshole,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be nice. I'm
Well,
not
that's-
going to help you in
But
any
that's
kind of way.
if you're a good establishment.
Yeah.
Like in the capitalist society that we have,
Yeah.
the customer's always right. Just yell and you'll get your way because everybody's thinking about, ooh, we don't want to lose their $3.
Right.
Right.
Fuck
But man,
that.
I waited around. Like, I'm like, let me talk to your manager. And then so apparently, which I was talking to the guy at corporate, he was like, no, they just passed you around to assistant manager and blah, blah. The manager was probably too lazy to come out and talk to me.
Right.
I was like, what kind of piece of shit? So I took all their fucking names and stuff, which I don't know if it's a minute person. Most people think they're everything. And I was kind of calm after that. I was
Yeah.
walking out. I was like, you know what? There's probably a reason I got them. Maybe the other one would have caught on fire and the truck would have burned down. Whatever. You never know, man. Things have probably happened for a reason, and that's something that I couldn't.
Maybe that reason was so we could have 5 minutes of talk time.
That's right.
Because Jim's an asshole.
Yeah, fuck Jim Bundy.
Mm-hmm.
So how's the week been, man? It's
been all right. It's flown by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you all play last weekend?
I don't know.
After the podcast?
Did we?
No. You had Friday and Saturday both.
Yes, and then I think we practiced on Sunday.
Yeah.
We started working on a new song. That was nice, and then Gary handed me the chords and shit to his new song that he's been working on, and I told myself I was gonna learn it out of spite, just so I could show up and be like, I fucking know your stupid ass song.
Yeah.
You know my song, bitch.
Yeah.
But then I haven't looked at it, so I can't really win. Laziness trumps spite every time.
That's right.
All right. Y'all keep talking.
All right.
I don't know. That's about it. I don't know. Somebody yelled. I got called low-key racist.
What?
A low-key racist?
You can't be a low-key racist. You're either racist or you're not.
Well, there's this black dude.
I only dislike so-and-so in this exact moment.
And he was all like, well, you don't trust me, man? I'm like, I don't trust my own mother. Why would I trust you? And he's like, man, that's low-key racist, dog. I'm like, no, I don't think you know what either of those words mean.
Yeah, it's low-key familialist.
So, talking about a low-key racist, there was a guy in front of me at Walmart in the fucking, in the return area, right? And there's like 5 people in front of me. One's a black guy. One's a white girl that is with the black guy. And then the other 2 or 3 were white, right? So... anyways, they he looked back at me because they were cashing their checks. He looks back at me and he's like, hard to find, or they only hire drug addicts now. And he went like nodded towards the black guy, and I'm like, what makes you think that the black guy is a drug addict, not the other 3 white people with no teeth?
Plus, I mean, you don't get addicted to weed, and that's all black dudes smoke. That's their only drug. So fuck him for that one.
Yeah, he was definitely like it's like one of those conversations, and he was like a Trump lover. Like he was like sucking on Trump's dick while I was talking to him, and I'm just like I don't get.
So
your
he was still
perspective
speaking pretty clearly.
Yeah,
he thought you all were gonna bond over
Trump
black people and Trump.
Yeah. And I was just like, I don't think I want to be a part of this conversation. So I kept like smiling and then acting like I was really doing some stuff on my phone. I'm like, I really can't talk to you,
the
bro.
Scrabble game's really calling me.
Yeah. And it's like, you ever seen it, like you get into that situation with somebody and then when they walk out of the store, they're like, hey man, have a good one. But everybody knows he's racist. So now everybody thinks you're racist because you all bonded in line.
Well, that's when you just look at everybody else. Well, I don't know that guy.
I
love black people.
I don't like women,
Mexicans,
but I'm not racist.
Asians, but not women. Yeah. Right.
Oh, he's just one of them guys, man. Like Trump hates black people, hates gay people, fucking thinks he was like, Trump's a Christian. I'm like, what gives you that idea?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't even think he knows how to pray.
Trump's as much a Christian as I am an Italian.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Funnily enough, we are.
I'm not Italian.
No, I
know. Don't you undermine me.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know you're not Italian?
I don't know.
I watched this thing
Irish,
about
German.
genealogy.
Yeah, that's right here.
And they said there was like they put 50 people in a room.
The
Check
study
this out.
of wishes.
They put 50 people in the room and they took blood from them. They sent it off. Did their genealogy.
You mean like out of them or like from their pockets?
From their out of them.
Okay. Yeah, they came
So
in
then
with
they
blood
go-
in their pockets.
They
Right?
come back. They come back with the results, and you had people of different views. Some people didn't like the Irish. Some people didn't like Canadians. Blah blah blah. All this other shit. Well, it ends up you have a lot more blood from like European, Irish. You have blood from pretty much all over nowadays because everything's so intermingled.
Right.
You have blood from all. So out of these 50 people, 2 of these people were family members and didn't even know it. Had no clue. They were like
that's awesome.
5th, 6th cousin type shit, but had no clue. It was a random 50 people that signed up for this thing. So imagine that. Imagine how many people out there that you know your family with you. You didn't even know it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the lesson there is don't hit on people in groups that you don't know.
You don't know.
Just don't hit on people.
I remember being in a group one time, and I had this cousin. I've never seen it. We have, what are those things called?
Family
family
reunions.
reunions, right?
Oh,
we have those every
Ferris
fucking
wheels?
year. Never seen this girl before in my life. My cousin invites me over to hang out with all these people. My cousin, very beautiful. Didn't know it. She's like the third cousin or whatever.
She's the daughter of your hot aunt.
Dude, I did not fucking know it. And I was like, damn, dude. So I'm over here hitting on her and stuff, and it finally dawns on me why she looks a lot like one of my fucking family members, because she is a part of my family. Didn't know it, and I felt really bad after that. But what do you do? What if you get in the situation where you fuck your cousin, your third cousin?
Then you find any way to justify it that you can.
Yeah, you got to, right?
Look at her. You'd
Just
fuck her.
look at her.
If she was your mother, you'd fuck her.
Well, and if you don't grow up with them, like as your cousin, I feel like, okay, well, mistakes happen. Just keep it to yourself, because that is embarrassing.
Keep that shit down.
But you didn't know. It's not like you grew up in diapers next to this cousin.
Oh, that'd be weird. That's like when, say, like, I'm 20, 30 years old, right? My parents get together. Not parents, but like step parents, right? They find another lover. Then the daughter of the guy or the girl is fucking beautiful, and I'm like, oh, it's cool to like fuck her, right?
Yeah,
Because she's not technically family.
It's like on Step by
It
Step,
sounds weird.
you know? What's his face? Jake, I guess. I feel like his name was Jake. Maybe it was Joke. Jock. Joe.
Was it J. Cole?
Jess.
The guy
No.
outside?
What?
No, that's a
that was
different
Cody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. JT?
JT.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah. If he would have banged Al, I would have thought, all right.
All
that's
right.
fine.
Yeah.
Or
for
wait,
sure.
was that his actual sister? Karen was the one. You know what? I don't watch TV anymore.
Well, and it's from the 90s, so.
Fuck this show. Bang your stepsister. That's the
Yes.
point.
No, if you don't grow up where, this is my stepsister, that's okay. Even then, I mean, it's still not blood, but if you grew up with someone as your sibling, whether it's step or not, that's weird. It would be
Yeah.
like if we weren't related but grew up together, still don't want to fuck you.
That's-
Well, that
What
would be
it-
disheartening.
What's up with like there's when you go on like the porn websites, right?
It's
an
always
increasing
like
number.
stepmom
So
and
many.
stepson.
Or even like mom.
Yeah.
And then it has like the sister.
Yeah.
And they're like
Search for
fucking.
strangers,
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, I don't want these people to know each other.
not family.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
Well,
family.
because then it makes you feel fucking weird clicking on the shit. Like, I don't want to see mom and son and daughter
you
fucking
click on
someone.
one, it's all you're gonna get for the rest of time.
It forever.
The minute they're like,
like,
I'm
great.
going to tell your dad, I'm like, I just fell out of fucking the mood.
That shit
I'm
is
done with
silly.
this. I will have none of this.
But it does help me fantasize about hating my dad more.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Because that's something you've been trying to achieve is hating dad more.
I didn't know it was, but yeah. It's like, how can I hate him? A mildly attractive older woman.
Yes, that's how.
No, it's all weird, man. It makes you feel uncomfortable at yourself. But the more uncomfortable part of that is there's a lot of people out there that get off on that shit.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird.
Oh, hey, Zach was talking about listening to the most recent episode, and he was at a drive-through. And I think he said
Oh,
it was
shit.
the part. He was like, "Well, I don't have to turn this down. I'll be fine." And it was the part where like jizzing on the stump. I think was the part. And he caught disapproving looks.
It's
Nice.
badass.
That made me happy.
I like when you get disapproving looks for stuff.
Yes.
It's so fucking great. I'm always nervous when I rarely go through a drive-through because I usually don't get food, but I eat at home.
Eating's for the birds.
Yeah, fuck that.
Fuck you.
But when I do, of course, I'm almost always listening to stand-up comedy, and I'm always nervous that they're gonna drop the N-word or something, and the person at the window is gonna like, Bill Burr, just be quiet for a minute.
I just say let them have it. If they hear it, you say, "Come on, man, that's
You're like,
funny."
No, this is actually funny. Let me
Yeah.
go back.
You want some
Listen.
context, drive-through person?
Yes.
I remember as a kid, there was a guy that got in his vehicle, and it was back when, because they didn't have like the Bluetooth, all that shit back then. I was young, man, like 10 or 11. I'm in my car at a car wash, and there's this guy in his SUV, and he had like TVs in there so he could play DVDs. I kid you not, as loud as it could possibly go, he was playing a porno.
Hell
I mean, they were going at it.
Yeah.
And I looked over, motherfucker,
like,
you biting this shit.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? So that was in Portland. So if that helps you.
So it makes a little more
to.
sense.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of white trash. And this dude was white trash.
Yeah.
Playing a porno as loud as it go. He was like, you know what it's about.
You
know what I
know.
mean? You know the business. I'm letting
Now, what
them
is
know.
this one about? What's the plot to this?
Yeah. Because
Dude.
that's the reason I watch porn. Is
No matter
for the
how
plot.
hard they try.
Is she the star or the ass licker? What is she doing?
No matter how hard they try, the storylines, porn stars are not actresses, are
Some
actors.
of them are.
They're fucking terrible.
No. Some of them are solid. I would cast them in anything I did.
What?
I
Ever.
wish.
Stop being that way.
It's rare, but come on.
I feel like part of the problem, though, is that it's written that way. It's written super cheesy. It wouldn't matter how good of an actress or
Nah.
actor you are.
'Cause I'm thinking if you have like a super cheesy script and you give it to like Brad Pitt,
Yeah.
it's gonna be fucking cool.
Yeah. Or Denzel Washington. Can you
Denzel.
see him like produce some lines in a porno? Come on. That shit would be alright. Or Will Smith, good actor. Idris Elba. Why am I naming all black people?
Because they're all excellent.
It's guilt, ain't it?
They're all wonderful.
Yeah.
What up, Idris Elba? If you're
Idris Elba
listening,
is
what
in
up?
a new, they're making a Cats movie.
Yeah,
Like,
they've already made
Cats. Oh, it's already made.
it. It's not out yet, but
Idris
yeah.
Well,
Elba
fuck you
is
then.
in that shit.
No, fuck you.
No, fuck
Specificity.
Yeah.
It looks terrible though.
I
Have you
know,
seen the
it
trailer?
looks so fucking terrible.
I haven't.
was
I
like,
didn't know.
as much as I wanted to like it, I'm like, fuck this. And then,
You said-
but Idris Elba's he has like a scar over his eye, and so he's a straight alley cat and
That's
shit. And I'm
fucking
like, come on,
awesome.
man.
Oh, I'm straight out of cat, right?
I'd like to see if he's like actually really good in it. You know what I mean? Like, if he makes it better because it's Cats. How could
Well, yeah,
it be
I mean,
better?
I'm sure his
terrible.
performance will be sweet, but
Can you set through the rest of
no.
it? To,
I did see. Did you see the meme where it was like cats, but like they're all Nick Offerman?
no, I haven't.
So like
seen
I would
it.
see that.
Fucking great.
that was cool. But beyond that, no.
That's
Damn it.
wonderful. So you
But-
want to discuss this autism stuff?
Oh yeah, the odds.
We don't have to.
Ever
I
since
was
So we
just
just-
I was gonna wait around until there was a nice little segue.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
But now, fuck it.
Yeah.
No, she
While
just
we're on the
interjects
topic of
herself.
autism, let us talk about vaccinations and shit.
Yes.
All right.
This is
All
for
right.
all you stupid motherfuckers out there that
Yeah.
think not vaccinating is a good idea.
Yeah.
But it turns out it's actually like what 1 to 2% of people that don't.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah. Well,
it
and-
makes no sense.
They've found that like 80% of autism is hereditary. It's linked to
What's the other 20%?
They're exploring environmental impacts.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like we know exactly what it is, yet people are still afraid.
Yes. So the
Ooh.
mutation of the USP9X gene is what leads to it. Is USP9X.
Excellent. Oh man, did you guys see that Chinese scientist guy that was working? He was like manipulating genes to make people immune to HIV,
No.
Oh,
but then
so
it didn't
amazing.
work, and like they're yelling
Now
at
they
him for
have
being.
HIV.
They're like, "You're so unethical," and they're like mutations that they didn't
Yeah,
expect.
They wouldn't be
But what
saying
if
that
it had
shit
worked?
if it worked. Exactly.
Dude.
Fuck them.
It
that
takes-
guy's awesome.
It
His name
takes
is
a stranger.
Dr. He.
Dr.
That's
He.
crazy.
That is
it takes
badass.
somebody way out there. That's like that thing about the vortex turbine. I was saying green energy.
Yeah.
He said that so many people have become broke over the idea because once you get into it, it's overwhelming. You can't stop doing it. So a lot of people have gone into poverty trying to find this green method of making energy, right?
It's like meth of science.
But
That's
eventually somebody will get it right because all these people tried and
Yeah.
all these different ways to not do it. They'll figure out a way to do it.
Well,
And then it'll be a very profitable fucking
That's
way
how
to do it.
science has been forever. Just everyone wants to put their
Same thing,
fucking
though.
nose
Yeah.
in people's business.
Yeah.
Now
Let
they're
the
gonna call 'em a
process
kook.
happen,
Yeah.
or nothing's ever going to be cured.
Imagine if
Yes.
Einstein was around and shit. Imagine if Einstein's wife was a cocksucking bitch that was just
Right.
like, you are a big piece of shit.
All
then, like,
the
shut him
time
down.
with your fucking
Your
numbers.
fucking numbers. And he's like, you never support me. And he's ripping his hair out and stuff.
Your fucking imagination
punches
is
her in the
ruining
eye.
us.
Don't you yell at me! I'm Einstein. You rat bitch.
See what a terrible woman can do to you? They could have
Shit.
stopped Einstein from being amazing.
Look,
You know, he was probably broke half the time. He broke his shit.
Yeah.
And she was just like, I'm so touched. She didn't. She played her part. She was like, look, one day he's gonna fucking get it, and I'm gonna look stupid.
Look,
Right.
if she hadn't been supportive, he would have been like the original Charles Manson
Yes. I've got all these great science
or
ideas.
Bundy. Yeah.
Listen to my song. Look at my theories.
Yeah.
I'd like to
Nope.
see how he would kill somebody because he's, you know, super intelligent.
He'd explode him with his mind.
Yeah, man.
Done.
Go impose an abortion on that woman.
Just imagine, though, for real, if like one thing was slightly different in some of these people's lives and how different it could have turned out.
Yeah.
Where would we be in life if Einstein hadn't been supported by the person he loved and actually like it just continued to go and okay, I will figure this shit out.
Yeah.
That's how you end up like Hitler.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was just a loving artist.
That's what we were watching that thing about women being the negative charge in life and men being the positive charge. And without a negative, you can't have a positive.
Right.
Because negative travels to positive, blah, blah, blah. Electrical theory, whatever.
Magnets.
The thing is, though, so men are drawn to women. Well, you know, or men to men, whatever your negative is. But men that are drawn to women, you know what I mean? We base a lot of what we do off what women think, what, you know, how's this going to affect our relationship,
Yeah.
whether it be professional or romantic,
Right.
blah, blah, blah. It's endless. But can you imagine if any of those people, see, what's his name? Tesla, Nikola Tesla, didn't have a wife. He didn't fuck nobody. He, the whole time, just single as shit.
And he died with his pigeons.
He died with pigeons.
It's like whenever George Costanza quit worrying about sex and then he became really smart.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, if it's that true balance of stuff. But imagine if Einstein or any of these greats, I would say Benjamin Franklin and all that shit is bullshit. But any of these great thinkers and, you know, all that, if they had a woman that was like, fuck that, you're going to go work at the carpet store with my dad.
Yes,
you piece of
exactly.
shit. Imagine that. Where would the world be? It would be in
We'd
shambles.
have some dope ass carpet out there. Can you
Some good
imagine the
carpet.
carpet to this day? It'd be like fucking fuzzy, memory foamy excellence that we can't even imagine.
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool.
If I had a kid, man, I would feel all of his, like, anything that come to his mind.
Would
If
you
he was like-
vaccinate the kid, Adam?
I would
Yes.
fucking...
Adam, would you vaccinate the goddamn kid?
I'm vaccinating. It's so fucking stupid not to.
Shit.
If you don't vaccinate, you introduce the world to diseases
Yeah.
that we have fought for
That are
centuries.
essentially obsolete at this point.
Yeah,
But
that was
not really. If you get rid of the fucking thing, your
Exactly.
kids
See, that was
die.
part of why people choose to not vaccinate
Yeah.
because it's not around. I don't have to worry about it.
Oh,
But lurking
yeah.
in the shadows
Yeah.
is this
It
thing that's gonna
definitely is.
fuck people up.
Because those that they Black Plague and all that shit, they're mutations and they continue to mutate. So if they can't get to you the way they used to, the cell
find
is
a
smart
new way.
enough to build itself to where it could withstand
Hell yeah.
going through whatever
Y'all
barrier it
motherfucking
needs
humans
to be.
killing my people. I'm gonna evolve.
It's
Yeah,
like that.
it
And I'm
will.
gonna kill your
Swear to God
children
it does.
and your children's children.
They
It's
watch
like
it.
that episode of Rick and Morty with was it Fruity Land? It was made to be. It was Beth's little secret place when she was a kid, and it was
Yeah,
made
all
to be
those little
completely safe. And like the water was breathable, and the floor was bouncy, so you couldn't get hurt. And life found a way, and then that
Yeah.
fucking bird flies in and rips his arm off and shit.
They're smart enough to evolve into something where they can break that barrier down.
Yeah.
Even with the vaccinations, we're susceptible to something that has evolved and mutated to get past that. So you're never clean and clear of anything. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
So people are fucking stupid, man.
Hell yeah.
Not vaccinating. That sounds so fucking
All right,
stupid
check
to me.
it. Simmer down. Let's run down some statistics right quick.
Yeah, hit him with the stats.
Vaccinations and shit. It's required in 45 of the 50 states.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, it's actually required. I don't know. I didn't look at that right. All right.
What?
I'm just gonna read exactly what I wrote instead of try. All right.
Yep.
5 states do not have exemptions. for vaccines. It's like, you fucking get it.
Yeah.
You fucking get
Or
it.
you-
Those states
yeah.
are Maine, California, Mississippi, West Virginia, and New York.
Awesome.
The other 45 have exemptions for religious reasons, which,
Yeah, fuck that.
whatever. And then science should always trump religion.
Yeah.
All right.
Unless if it comes down to life of death of only your child. So if like Mormons, they can't have blood infusions or transfusions. It can't happen.
I thought it was the
Okay.
Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh, it might be. It might be both, actually. I think
might
it is
be.
Jehovah's
They're both
Witnesses.
stupid.
Yeah. All right. But, like, in that situation, if that's what you want, if you want your kid to fucking die because you think that your God is going to damn you to hell if he receives blood, that's on you.
I'd
You
say
don't
maybe get
to
some new blood, get a new god, move to Vermont.
call it a day. Save
Yeah.
your child and call it a day. But anything other than a situation like that, you can go fuck yourself because it impacts the rest of the entire fucking world.
But then I guess that opens up the question of how much do we actually believe in personal freedoms and the ability to make your own choice?
Very minorly when it impacts everybody.
Yeah.
I don't
All right,
at
but
all.
let's just say hypothetically though, because I mean it makes me think of olden times when like you couldn't
Ah, yes,
say
olden
scientific
times.
things, you know, and they're like, oh, this goes against the church. We're gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah.
What about thou shalt not kill? Ah, fuck you.
Yeah.
You know, but what if you're like in the minority, but you're actually right, and the rest of the world is like, no, this goes against what's best for us, and you're like, it's not what's best for us. Look at my fucking math. Like your math is wrong.
Yeah.
If it comes to that, it kind of worries me.
Yeah. It's definitely worrisome. I mean, you have to essentially just keep fighting and hope it works out. If not, then, you know, they'll kill you and then they'll all wind up dead. So,
It's fine if you kill me, just don't consume me.
yeah.
I want to be salted and burned.
Please don't eat my body.
All right, but then the thing that's kind of irritating is that 15 states, you can have exemptions not just for religious reasons, for philosophical reasons.
What?
Yeah.
What? I don't even.
How's that?
Yeah, I need this in application. Like, how does this work? No,
I don't know.
I know. Like, that's dumb.
Yeah.
That
it
is
was
really stupid.
specified.
Yeah.
Philosophical.
Do you know what those states were? Did you write them down?
No.
Damn
There were
it.
15
guess-
of them. I'm not going to write that many down.
It's
Philosophical would be like if you're, say
Basically
the husband or the
copied and
wife
pasted.
is like, well, I think that this is a bad idea or whatever. My belief as a person says that vaccines do more damage than they do good. So
Oh.
that's like a philosophical statement, not like, oh, that philosopher.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean?
If you look at the actual science, you'll see that you're fucking stupid and wrong.
Yeah.
But the
Oh,
thing
no.
that I kind of found to be kind of good was that in rural areas, only 2% of people didn't vaccinate.
That's wonderful.
In urban areas, 1% didn't vaccinate.
Oh, good.
So, I mean, it is a vast minority.
Hell yes.
But within that, according to numbers from 2017, 7% of people didn't vaccinate because they were uninsured. 0.8%.
well, damn, that sucks.
0.8% of privately insured kids didn't vaccinate. So, I mean, that's... And 1% of kids on Medicaid
Interesting.
were not vaccinated. But
So it's all minor little percentages, which... That's still crazy, though. Like, the ones who don't have insurance, I feel like you should give them that shit. Just vaccinate them. Please?
I know.
For the sake
Maybe don't
of
get your
them
big
and-
ass TV.
Yeah. I don't...
Prevent your kid from dying of old ass diseases that don't matter anymore.
That's
Shit.
yeah.
One in 59 kids have autism.
Mm-hmm.
1 in 59. Yeah, it's not a bad number.
The CDC.
Yeah,
too bad.
well,
It's really not.
And a lot of them are not a lot of them, but there's a
I mean,
vast
it's not a
number
good
of
number,
them
but
that are functional, like functional autism, where they can still function as a normal
1 in
human being.
59 is a fuck ton.
I wonder out of
It's
how
like
many of
two-
those are
it's like-
debilitated.
that's like 1 in every 2 or 3 classes.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people are debilitated autism, like Rain Man style. You know what I mean?
Right?
All you
Not
gotta
like
do
you
is
count cards.
take them to
but
Vegas.
see what's
Game
up.
on. I saw this one
clip
clip
though.
though.
Look and see what the statistics of like high functioning versus low functioning are.
I figure it would probably be hard to come across, because I mean you'd have to
Yeah.
account for all of them. Plus, I mean it's a spectrum, so
Yeah.
they're like,
Yeah, there's a spectrum for a reason.
this guy is stricken with it. This guy just kind of dabbles in it.
Stricken with it. Oh shit. So the thing that started all of this was in 1998. AJ Wakefield did a study on 12 kids.
Yeah.
12. That's insane.
Yeah, those are shitty numbers.
12 children.
Gotta get those up. I'm gonna need at least 100.
Yeah. And then he ended up he did one more study on 60 kids and didn't even say directly that this absolutely leads to this. He mildly suggested that it could be causing GI issues and autism.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how do they actually know that vaccines are linked? They don't know that
I'm
for
just realizing
certain.
you have autism.
They actually,
or some
know,
form
No,
of
I do.
retardation.
they know for certain that it doesn't.
Right. Well, and then but you still have a lot of these, stay-at-home moms that they read entirely way too much. They get on these message boards, and they start talking. And I say that because men just, we're going about, I have an autistic kid. Well, fuck, it's gonna happen. Like,
Right.
now take care of it. But whereas a woman wants to fix the situation, now she goes on message boards and she starts talking to these other, stay-at-home moms that have nothing to do all day but talk shit to each other about
How dare you?
vaccinations.
Keeping
and
a
all
clean
that shit.
house is plenty to do.
Oh no, I don't say nothing, but I'm just saying that they spend a lot of time thinking
I'm
by
just kidding, I
themselves.
don't
So
care.
they escalate this problem in their head, and then they go on these message boards and they read one thing that says, "Oh, it's connected," and or you get a fake news story, and now they just take this fact and they just keep going.
The thing that sucks is if you do any research, scholarly research,
They don't. That's what I'm saying.
not
Yeah.
one study, except for this 1998
except for this
shit.
fucking
12
dumbass.
people.
Well, and I had to really search for it. I only found it within another study. And it was like a collective of here's the last however many studies over 20 years and what they said.
It
Yeah.
just goes to show that a lie can get halfway around the world before the truth even gets its shoes on.
Yeah.
All you got to do is learn to fucking read, look
No.
up something, and you really do have to go out of your way to find
Yes.
the shit that says you shouldn't.
Yeah. Like the second link on Google said like real big, vaccines do not lead to autism. Real big. That's the
Did
second
you,
link.
I saw some shit where there was also talk of like not just autism, but there was a time when they thought hepatitis B was caused by vaccines. Not fucking true.
No.
There's some other thing. What the fuck was it? It had a stupid name. Multiple sclerosis.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it does that. Type 1 diabetes.
Yeah, I've read
Really?
about this.
Yeah.
In 2011, they did a study to check and see if there was causation between vaccines, chickenpox, the flu, hepatitis B, HPV, hepatitis A, like all kinds of shit. I mean, and yeah, absolutely not.
HPV stands for harpoon vag, right? It was just so good, I couldn't get it out. And turns out it bombed. So
Yeah,
continue.
No, it didn't bomb. It was great. Oh, shit.
Her burn.
Shit, that is funny. But no, they basically, let's see, some of the adverse events that were found: allergic reactions, seizures associated with fever, measles following the MMR, which is measles, mumps, and rubella, which is the one that's said to lead to autism, meningitis and encephalitis, chickenpox rash shortly after, the chickenpox vaccination, pneumonia, and some like arthritic type of things, so some body aches.
Yes. Most of it's minor.
Yeah.
there was
almost all of it's minor.
There was that one. I don't remember what the fuck it was a vaccine for, but there was like gelatin in it.
Yes.
It served as like a goddamn thing.
Yeah, like a filler.
Gelatin, which is used as a stabilizer in some live virus vaccines, might cause a reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Children with a history of egg allergy.
Interesting.
Great.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Great.
learn the basic shit.
An egg allergy?
Yeah.
Oh.
So there was a study done on 95,000 children.
Not enough. 100,000.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than 12.
Well, and
Not much.
It proved that there's not a causation between
Right.
it. 95,000 children. And this is the one that went real big into looking specifically at autism. So they had kids who weren't vaccinated, kids who were, they had like siblings with autism, siblings who didn't have autism. So it was a good variety of options, essentially. And that's what it ended up showing. It was like 1% ended up being diagnosed that were vaccinated.
What if the doctor just looked at the lady and was like, your vagina gave him autism?
Yes,
Lady.
you did this.
You did
You
this.
got a defective puss, ma'am.
You and your husband with your defective genes got together and made a defective baby.
Ooh, there was a
Deal
thing.
with
It's
it.
like,
Deal with it.
I'm just playing. I'm kidding.
Nope.
I'm just
not
joking.
kidding. Just fucking deal with it with your faulty shit.
Faulty shit.
Yeah, okay, there's 1 in 59 kids that have autism on the spectrum there. 1 in 37 are boys. 1 in 151 are girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 times men, guys, boys, wieners
Dudes,
are 4
yeah.
times more likely to be diagnosed with it than girls are.
Huh.
What is with that?
Y'all are fucked up.
And maybe it's the way our genetics work. Not our genetics, but just our biology.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we're more susceptible to
Isn't that essentially the same
to that
thing?
mutation. Well, yeah, but I mean, men and women are so different as far as biologically speaking that I can see why one would be more apt to get it than the other. I can see that.
I'd definitely be interested to read stuff about the USP9X gene in men. Or boys, I guess, in this situation. Well, men in
Boys.
general. Because it starts out as
Blokes.
children. Yeah.
Bloke.
Yeah.
Versus in women and C. Because the gene itself has also been linked to cancer as well. So I don't know what the cancer rate, if it's higher in men or women. But I'd like to know that. Let's find out.
You know, what if I'm going to go
My
back
guess
to the
would be,
yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. What?
I'm going to go
Merlin?
back to the conspiracy theory side of things.
conspiracy.
And what if all these things are implemented? Like, what if in the vaccines, like we're all wrong, what if in the vaccines they implement like the autism gene, cancer cells, all this shit to just select babies, right? And it's quality control, not quality control, but it's like keeping the
Unquality control.
population down. What's that called? Population control?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They
Hell
just
yeah.
implement it because they have the power to do that. I'm just, I know even rich people get cancer and have autism and all this other shit.
Yeah, but they can
But-
fix it.
Yeah, they have the money. Like Magic Johnson lived forever and he had HIV, right? He had AIDS.
Yeah, but then he
Magic
got hit by
Johnson.
a car and died.
Shut the fuck up. Damn it.
Yeah.
Men are
He's
more
still
likely
alive.
than women to develop cancer over the course of their lifetime. They're also more likely to die from it than women are.
Well, yeah, because women's bodies are just made to fight off fucking everything.
That's
except
right.
breast cancer.
Yeah,
Fuck.
apparently.
I guess
That shit's
ovarian
crazy.
cancer. Cysts pop up all the time.
Well, and cervical I have cysts.
See?
Yeah.
Chist.
I don't
Cervical.
have cysts.
No, you don't have
Cyst.
ovaries, bitch. I have cysts on my ovaries.
You can have
Can't prove
testicular
it.
cysts.
That would be awful.
I don't know the science on that.
Oh shit.
Like a third testicle.
Minority
that's my
groups
cyst.
tend to be
That's my cyst.
diagnosed later and less often for autism.
What is it?
Minority groups.
I would
Oh,
imagine
nice.
that's to do with insurance and the finances to be tested and stuff.
Yeah.
Most likely, anyway. Maybe not. I
You
don't
know,
know.
31% of children with the autism spectrum disorder have an intellectual disability IQ of less than 70. 25% are in the borderline range of 71 to 85, and 44% have IQ scores in the average to above average.
Damn.
85 or above.
That's a high percentage. That's solid.
Yeah.
44%.
I don't. That should never be a thing. You said something about to receive health care, and we just talked about Magic Johnson, how he's lived forever, and a lot of people die of HIV within 5 years or so. And it's the crazy part about it is we shouldn't live in a society where the more money you have means you can live longer.
That totally makes sense.
No, man, we should live where we take care of everybody. Certain people. Some people who are just running amok in their life don't give a fuck.
Right.
Fuck it, dude. Let them do whatever they're going to do and let them die, whatever. But still offer the health care, because a lot of those people that not giving a fuck, they're not going to go see the doctor anyways because they don't give a shit.
Right.
They're living on the street. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Giving blowjobs for money. They don't give a shit. But we shouldn't live in a society where
things aren't affordable.
Yeah, where it's, your life has a monetary value on it.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If that wasn't the case, though, then how the hell do you propose that we fund these things?
Well, we live like Canada. However, Canada's doing it.
How do other
we'll
places fucking do it? Because it's not like it's impossible.
It's not impossible.
See, here's the thing.
I'm just thinking like the extreme cases of shit. So we're like, with something like AIDS, like we don't know much about it. Although they are talking about like a vaccine by 2021.
Yeah.
Hey, how many people do you think are going to get the AIDS vaccine? I think the parents are going to rage against that.
Yeah, because they'll be like, you're putting AIDS in my kid.
Now I have autism and AIDS.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. I don't know. That's interesting.
Yeah.
But, I mean, essentially now you can live with HIV and have
pretty much an entire life.
have no impact on your health anymore because of the medications they have, which it hasn't always been like that.
Put you on that medication, get that money for the rest of your life.
It's been very recent.
Fuck. We should probably look into actual health costs and like the production of the means, I guess, to fix people.
Yeah.
And then because I want to know if it's like fixing people and taking care of them. I mean, in other countries, the costs are a lot lower.
Yeah.
Right.
But
I would
whenever
say,
things are like first made, it's like they have a lot of overhead. Like they have a bunch of money they have to make back.
Right.
And to a degree, it kind of makes sense that America being so expensive, because, we're the richest country in the world, So the richest country in the world would be covering the majority of the costs so that the rest of the world can have it at an affordable price. Now, if that's the case, then okay. But if it's not the case and it's just greedy motherfuckers, then we need to think, okay, how can we get it down to a reasonable level so that we can help as many people as possible?
The reason why it would be it's more financially stable to provide the free healthcare, because right now the penalties and the taxes that we pay for people who visit the doctor, emergency room, people with no health care, that bill gets passed on to us whether we like it or not. So if we all pay a collective tax, even if it's higher.
That still stems from the idea that we're being overcharged.
Oh, we're dead. Yeah, without a doubt.
If they reduce it to a more reasonable price, then it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, fuck that though. They
certainly
lose
not
a lot
as
of
much.
money. Yeah,
but
it's very overcharged in America. They put their own price on it. I mean, it's very overpriced. But when you go to Canada, when you go to European countries, even Mexico, they pay them a certain amount. Like, you can't go over this cap. Like, all doctors get paid this much. Right. Don't matter if you're a private doctor or whatever.
I think of it in terms of like with like farmers and shit, because you can look at like fruits and vegetables and shit that we buy. The prices that we pay are as low as they are because farmers are subsidized. So the government's chipping money at them so that we can pay less at the store. Is that going to carry over into other crap, or is it just like, oh, well, I have my idealism, but it clashes with reality?
Right.
How do you find that balance?
I don't know. Stop capitalism. Create a different system. I don't know.
Shut it down.
Shut it down and recreate. There needs to be a new system in place.
See, that's too much in the idea of, instead of like tweaking something to make it better, like, ooh, let's destroy capitalism, let's crush money. It's like, then you're fucked.
Yeah, you can't do that, I would say. But it just they need to implement some different. I don't know if you could change capitalism. So many people have tried to change the way we do capitalism, and it just it's never worked. It's never been a great idea.
Well, I mean, you can have capitalism, but then you have to weed out greed.
Right.
Or at least minimize it. Yeah. But then that's a long road. We can't do that. So let's talk about a video I saw.
Yeah.
You're ridiculous. Let's just give up.
It's far too long. I don't have enough facts in front of me, and I don't want to speculate too much. So there was this video. It was, I don't know, they were like elementary school kids or like middle school kids, and they were playing a basketball game, and there was a kid on one of the teams that had autism. And the opposing team was in on this, and the kid took a shot from downtown, 3-point land, and he missed. The opposing team rebounded it, gave it back to the kid.
Video, yeah.
Kid shot again, missed.
Yep.
Opposing team rebounded again, gave it back to him.
Well, that's fucking
I've seen
stupid.
that shit.
That is fucking stupid.
And the whole crowd was like cheering the kid, and the other team was cheering the kid on.
Everybody's like,
Fuck that.
You did it. I mean,
That's dumb.
We had a situation like it. We had a football player that was on the team, right? His name was Tim. I'm not going to go further than that. The dude had been on the team for the four years he was in school. He was always on the team, never played, right? Every year, they would play a game, and they would talk to the other team and be like, look, we're going to let him run this play and do his thing, and y'all just, tackle him before he gets a touchdown, right? Make it seem, and everybody would like freak out and put all this attention on it.
Right.
And I don't know, something about it rubbed me wrong every time. I'm like, is this how we're supposed to do things? Like,
yeah,
it was the same exact situation, but they just, I don't know.
So that, I mean, there's a question of what the fuck are they doing on the team anyway?
Yeah, what did they?
If the other team has to agree to let them score,
yeah.
I mean, are we not going to cut these kids from the team? Oh, you have a deficiency, so you're not going to learn what no means.
Right.
That's dumb.
He was also like lifting weights, just like that's why it becomes an issue where like a safety issue.
Retard strong.
Yeah, well, no, he was like lifting weights and it never failed. Every year he would hurt himself by trying to do the military presses or something like that. And he'd fall over or he'd drop him on himself because it just wasn't
spotting
there.
This kid.
Yeah, they just were terrible spotters.
Well,
catch him off guard.
Part of the issue, I feel like, why did no one ever teach him how to properly lift weights?
Yeah.
Why did no one ever teach him the rules of football or basketball or whatever? Because if so, and let him fucking practice.
And to be fair, the kid hit the rim every time.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Well, they should have rebounded it, gone down, made their point, and then let him get the rebound for his own team.
That's what I thought. Don't make it so fucking obvious. Because if he has any brain cells, he knows you're just letting him.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and that goes to say, like, because the whole team would cheer him on, the other team would cheer him on, right? Yeah. So why don't we treat every person that way instead of, the special needs kid on the basketball team, whatever. Like, treat everybody with that same enthusiasm. Root everybody on your team the same. Stop hating people.
Yeah, but then sports become stupid.
Yeah.
Because the draw of sports for me is just being able to talk shit and tear the other team down. So yeah.
Well, I don't know, man. I just... There's a portion where I agree with it. Cool, man. Put him out there, whatever. Yeah. But honestly, for a safety issue, he shouldn't be on the team. Or don't draw so much attention to it and let him, push him to be like the other people. Not be like them, but compete like the other people.
Yeah, I saw.
And be like them. You know what I mean?
There's a fucking thing with wrestling too.
Really?
There's a kid on the wrestling team. I was like, why is he walking all fucked up?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and absolutely, they should be able to be a part of whatever extracurricular activity they want to. Is so long, if I tried out for basketball and I wasn't good enough, I wouldn't make the team.
Yeah.
And it should apply to everybody. I don't care what your disability or deficit is, it doesn't matter. If you can do it and you can grasp the concept, you should be able to play.
Yeah.
Done. But you should have to play like everybody fucking else.
Yeah. Right.
2 minutes in the fourth quarter when you're up by 20.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not saying maybe these schools and stuff, because we had a lot of special needs kids in our class. Maybe all these schools should create a special needs sport, not sport like only for the special, but you know what I mean? Like, say football, create a football team for the special needs and allow them for each regional team to play. Why do you have...
But then you get 3 people on a team from each school, and then it's like 3-on-3.
Right. But still, though,
that actually would be kind of cool.
Yeah,
Make
it's
it a
lot
picnic
better.
day.
It's a lot better for them because they have people on their same
There are ways
level.
to do it. You got to world build. You can't just throw them in with fully functioning kids.
Yeah, man.
And they're like, I fucking scored. Put me in, coach.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Sit down, Jimmy. You put me in last week. I scored. Everybody went crazy. It wasn't like that, Jimmy.
I'll say, dude,
but
that
Brian's 6'5", 300 pounds. He'll kill you.
that guy never missed a fucking game. He was always there for practice.
That's
like,
awesome.
He was like better than most of the people, you know, as far as support goes and shit. He killed everybody else. And it's just like, well, if they had a sport for him to play with people on his same level, and he could shine that way, because, you know what I mean, his deficit wasn't that much, you know, that low.
Well, and especially with 44% of people on the spectrum being average or higher, like IQ, they can grasp the concept, they can understand, and they can play properly. Fucking teach them.
Yeah.
Just because they don't want to talk to you about your stupid day.
They react socially differently.
Yeah.
That's fine.
See,
So do I.
It's funny how you look at that video and you get all this like, what the fuck, man?
Fuck this.
And they put that video online because people like that emotional level style shit. And most people, when they watch that, tear up and they're like, oh my God, it's so heartwarming.
Yeah, like the caption was like, faith in humanity restored.
Yeah, get
Like,
the
no.
fuck out of here.
Maybe in humanity, faith in competition. What the fuck?
Right.
Crush that kid.
Yeah.
Just
Send him
smash
to the
that
line.
shit out of his
Foul
hand.
his ass. Make him take his shots.
Right.
No, yeah, that's
Block
it's
on
crazy.
him.
Yeah.
Be awesome. Wow.
It's good, man. That's what social media plays on, that emotional level. Anything to do with emotional, like your anger level, that social media plays into that. They love it. If you put a headline, they have like certain headlines that you put, most people are going to click on it. Or anything that says is going to help you transform your life, people click on that.
Yeah.
Anything that, military gets disrespected or whatever, something you can get irate about, it makes a lot of money. Not money, but a lot of clicks.
I fell for something like that yesterday.
What was it?
I said, why Maynard James Keenan left his band Tool. And I was like, well, what the fuck? Why did he quit?
Yeah.
He didn't quit.
He didn't quit.
He moved to Arizona.
Have you seen the
God damn it.
there's this thing that really got me one time, and it was a fucking scam, and I didn't know that. If you ever seen them, they're on like Facebook, and it's like John Cena is getting indicted because of this medication that he's taking. Then you go
That's right.
down, and apparently it's this, not steroid that somebody came up with, and it's this revolutionary thing. So I tried it because it said like 30 days, like money back guarantee.
Yeah.
I didn't shut it down in 30 days. They charged me like $200, $300 out of nowhere. And I called them irate. But the thing
Read the
is,
fine print, motherfucker.
they did that. It had The Rock. It had all these other baseball players and stuff, like these famous people. And it was like, they're getting indicted because of this special. It was like vitamins or some shit. But they do that. That's how that clickbait scam shit works. They get you tied into something.
That reminded me of a meme I saw. It had John Cena. He was standing there flexing. It was like, oh, you say you're a feminist?
Yeah.
Name every woman.
Yeah, name every woman. That's
It's like,
awesome.
yeah, can't argue with that.
I've got one, and that's myself. I can't. I got no other women in my head right
We
now.
were wanting to make a video where we were speaking on feminist things, and it's me and her in the car, and every time like I asked for her opinion, the video would cut to her, and then I would just interrupt her right when she was starting to talk.
I'd be like,
And it would happen like 20 times in like a 5-minute video or some shit.
what?
And I'll just be saying some fucking sexist shit, and I'm like, what's your opinion? And it goes to her, and it cuts away immediately.
Well, I see what you're saying, but
Yeah.
did you think about this?
Yes. Calm down, calm down.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
We could do it for like the men's rights too, where it flips it, where
Yes.
it fucking cuts me. But
Yeah.
I was thinking, I was dreaming, or I woke up from a dream. I'm like, oh, that would be a great video.
Yeah.
People would get irate about that.
I
enjoyed
love
that.
the idea of it.
be
Look,
fun to
people
make.
would. I will end up. If it ever goes viral, I'd be one of the most hated women in America for not standing up for women's
Get a
rights.
bunch of dudes hollering though.
Because that's what I need in life.
I know.
Yes.
Hey, baby
dude.
girl, yeah, cut down.
Yeah.
That people, I know a guy that he dated a girl, and she was very feminist. She had like shaved half of her head and stuff. And he told me once we were in the, I was working and we heard in conversation, he was like, the only reason I got with her in the first place was because she had big titties, right? If she would have heard that when she was a feminist, she would have lost her fucking mind, right?
Yeah.
But I always thought it was funny because he talked her out of her viewpoints, and he's very misogynistic. But he was like, I only got with her because of her titties. So you're telling me that you talked a feminist into dating you just because she had big titties. You know what I mean? Like,
She
some
clearly
Burt
wasn't very
Reynolds shit.
passionate.
apparently she
Yeah.
wasn't very
Yeah.
hardcore feminist.
She just liked the style.
Yeah, some of the feminists, man, are, I mean,
It's a fucking costume.
they're fucking crazy. Oh, what costume?
It's a fucking costume. Like in Return of the Living Dead, where the guy's dressed like he's all punked out. You know, he's got the leather jacket and the spike, and he's like the naked chick's hanging on him. He's like, you think this is a fucking costume?
Yeah.
This is a way of life. You know, so it's like that, but for feminists.
Yeah,
right.
who doesn't wear fucking costume though? Like I think about the costume I wear on a daily basis. Like what am I actually? I'm in that
Well, this is
position
different.
trying to find my new costume.
I think the thing that really ties it together is a stupid fucking phone on your hip.
Yeah, well I got two of them
Fuck
just
you.
for you.
I can't
Don't
see
talk
that
shit
one.
to my husband.
Your husband needs to get it together
He's
and stop dressing
important.
like a fucking man-child.
He's got personal and business, man.
That's true.
That's right.
Good
If he,
on him
wasn't,
for that.
if he wasn't a felon, he'd have a gun and he'd pull it out on you and shoot you in the face, motherfucker.
Slap me! Can't get jail for slapping.
No, I
Oh,
think
please don't slap me.
I think that a lot, and I agree with some of the feminist rights stuff. Like I get that, okay.
Yeah,
I
in the
get your
sense of
thing.
equality.
Yeah, the
And
like
that's where it ends.
the rights for homosexuals, all this stuff. I get all that's cool. A lot of people do that shit though because they're unimportant. They have nothing going on in life. They're fucking terrible people, and they just want to. They want to feel like
they matter.
They matter. Mm-hmm. When in reality,
Find people
you're
that make
doing
you
shit.
feel important.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And don't impose your bullshit on the masses that don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
it
please.
goes back to the narcissistic thing about it. We all have that want to be known, that want to be heard and appreciated, and all that shit. We all got that. Some people though, they take it to a weird level.
Yeah.
And they go crazy over this like feminist or fluidity, gender
Yeah.
fluidity, all this shit. Like just get over yourself. Do something that's amazing, like create free energy or whatever. The next whatever.
Yeah.
Solid start. You got to do something. Free energy.
Free energy.
Yes.
It'll benefit me, and you're probably smart.
Focus your time on something that truly matters and do something and change the world. And then
That's what they think they're doing.
yeah, okay.
I'm changing
You're
the world
fucking
culturally. I'm opening minds. No.
Hey,
Just a couple.
Yeah, just a couple. The ones that
Also-
already agree with you preaching to the choir.
Right.
I was watching the other day a video of it was a progression from the 1900s all the way up to the 2000s of like automobiles, cars, all that shit, right?
Automobiles.
And I thought about it and I was like space is the new industrial revolution, right? We're trying to make it there. We're trying to live. We're trying to do that. So by the time we're actually in space and actually living and in motels and shit like that in space, it's going to be like the 1900s were here on Earth. We're going to
Right.
be in like the industrial revolution of that where we're wearing like hats and fucking stuff. And
We're wearing hats and
Stuff.
stuff. I love
And I
it.
can't wait for space stuff.
Totally.
can you imagine?
I
It's gonna
totally
take a-
get what you're saying, but I love
Hats
it.
and stuff.
It's going to take 100 years to get where we are now on
Hell
Earth.
yes.
You know what I mean?
Okay, that
Imagine
made
that.
me think of something I was trying to think of earlier with the Chinese guy, Dr. He.
Oh, good. Do tell.
Yes. Okay. So somebody was making the argument against what he's doing, and they said him doing this is like sending people to the moon and then saying, "Oh, this is for all the people that want to live on the moon."
What the
And it's like,
What the
if
fuck?
you're going to the moon and you want to live on the moon, going to the moon is the first goddamn step.
Isn't that the truth?
So if you want to work on a genetic level and make people immune to AIDS,
Yeah.
the first person you do it to is
Yeah.
the first goddamn step.
Yes.
All right, and that's it.
Get them.
It was a stupid analogy, whatever, on their part.
You always got to start somewhere. You had said something on like a prior podcast about asteroids and the one that was coming as big as a mountain, blah, 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 is going to destroy us.
Yes.
Well, I looked up.
I believe that was me, but
within
okay.
a year, 2 years,
I'll take
3
credit
years,
for
they're going to shoot a satellite there's this asteroid that's near Earth. Now it's near Earth. It's in orbit. Blah blah blah. So what? No, I think it's in the asteroid belt.
Get
Anyways,
it together.
it has
Credit your wife and figure out what you want to say.
There's
It was
an
definitely me.
asteroid, and then there's an asteroid orbiting it because
Yeah.
it's so big.
Oh yeah, that's the one I was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's orbiting it, right? So what they're gonna do is they're gonna shoot a fucking satellite and hit the one,
Yeah.
and then send another satellite behind it to read if we can knock it off its course.
Why not just send a bigger satellite and hit them both at the same time?
It's
I don't
just
know.
it needs to
Two
be like
birds,
bowling,
one
No.
stone.
where
Yeah.
it's like
Because we can't send something
picking
that
up a
big.
split. They're just gonna get the one and knock it over.
We couldn't
Get
set-
Bob to make the
That's right.
satellite.
the moon
Get him
itself.
drunk.
The
Come
moon
on, Bob.
itself is as big as the biggest pyramid, whatever the Great Pyramid. That's how big the moon of this asteroid is.
Anguladala.
So, think about that though. They're gonna try to knock it out of its orbit. I don't think they're gonna have any success.
Of course they will.
Yeah, it's like they're trying like the Armageddon style.
You
like,
know, of all the government
Yeah. bodies
in the world, I trust NASA.
Yeah, NASA.
Oh, God.
Because they know what the fuck they're doing.
come on, man.
Even if they have evil intent, their math is precise.
Hell
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I think if
Except
they figure
when
out,
it's not and shit blows up, but that's okay.
Except when people
They
die.
can't all be winners.
oh, they finally got a
they were
payload
teachers
off
anyway.
Yesterday they got a payload off the Earth finally, where it didn't blow up and shit. So they're gonna send like 28 tons of fucking material to the space station,
Yeah.
which I thought it was cool because we watched 3 of them blow up.
Yeah.
Where they were trying to send them
In
material.
a 1 hour period or a 1 year period, 3 of them
They
blew
kept
up.
trying.
Big difference.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
we'll get them water later.
They've just got them like backed up. Like, we'll just keep launching them. We're not
Fire
gonna
it!
fix
Fire it! Fuck time! Now!
We're not gonna try and correct anything.
Have you guys seen the shit about Elon Musk and the pedo guy?
Pedo.
Pedo. Pedophile.
Oh,
Oh, I would thank you.
Yeah, whenever it was like a soccer team was trapped in the
yeah,
The
cave.
closets.
Yeah.
yeah.
Get him out of the closet.
Yes.
In the
Come
cave.
on. Yeah,
Yeah.
they were in the cave, and then Elon Musk he was like, here, look, I got this submarine thing, you can use this. And then
Yeah.
one of the divers was like, that's not going to work. And then
It
Elon
totally
Musk was
did.
all like, with this pedo guy, And then, so they're in court now. The guy's suing Elon Musk, and he's like, this has brought me, like, immeasurable anguish. Because, Elon Musk called him a pedo.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
he had to make
It
the
probably
case.
is, though.
He argued that he was like, that's just something you say. Like, I was just talking shit to the guy.
Yeah.
It wasn't classy, but I was talking shit.
You know what
Yeah.
happens? Nobody. So if I come up to you, right, and you're that pedo guy, right,
Yeah.
and I said, "Hey, motherfucker, you're a pedo," right?
Yeah.
I walk
Can
on
we
about
say
my business,
pedophile, please?
or we fight about it, and then that's
walk
the
a
end of
lot.
it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to a rich person, that pedo guy is like, "Hey,
Pedophile.
fuck him. He's rich. I'm gonna see if I can sue him." Just like the real Rick Ross suing the Rick Ross, took
Ross,
his name,
yeah.
and was like, "You owe me money for the blah blah blah." Dude, you sold millions in crack cocaine and spent it all, and you went to jail. Like, that's not our fault, bro. You could have been richer than the fake real Rick Ross, but you're not. You're a motherfucker who
The fake
got caught.
real Ross.
The because, but you know what I'm saying? People see, like, if you're making money, say this we were doing this podcast, right? And I didn't put it where it needs to be.
And
Then
Jim
you took
Bundy
the
decides to
name,
come along.
and you do better with it. Well, I'm
Yeah.
going to come after you for whatever money you make from it because I feel like I deserve it. Even though you did a better job, I'm going to be like, that motherfucker owes me money.
Yeah, but then
so
you
if you
can
call
have
me
a
a
third of it.
pedophile,
Yeah.
I'm in. Unless you just if you don't have any money, I'm just going to be like, fuck that. He just
Yeah.
or we'll fight about it. But when it comes down to it, only rich people get sued like that.
Yeah.
Fuck
It's
that
true.
pedo
Well,
guy.
Man, that guy, George, whatever, the guy that killed Trayvon Martin.
Oh, Martinez or something.
Yeah.
Wasn't he Hispanic?
Yeah, I feel like it's George Martinez.
No.
George Martin.
Maybe.
George McLaughlin. Who cares?
No.
George
Nick Ragland.
bitch.
Yeah.
He's suing
Pedophile.
He's
George
suing
pedophile.
Trayvon Martin's mom.
Nice.
I think for $100 million.
What a fucking
Jesus.
idiot.
I know.
Dude. He got
Somebody
away
needs to
with
kill
it.
that guy.
And he pulled
Don't
a gun
kill
on
that
somebody
guy
else.
because it'll seem like incitement. but
That's
kill
not
that
his name,
guy.
but when you say his name, it's going to be
Zimmerman.
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 Mark Zimmerman.
Whatever.
George. No, it's George
Oh, you
Zimmerman.
got George.
Yeah.
At least you got the George right.
Thank you.
I had to say
Yeah.
Mark because I was like Mark Zuckerberg,
Yeah.
Zimmerman. See how I got it mixed
All
up?
those Z's are the same.
Yeah.
See,
You motherfuckers.
if Mark Zuckerberg was like, hey, you suck dick for a living, right? I'd be like, I'm going to sue that guy because he's worth millions.
Yeah.
And my little lawsuit ain't going to take shit out of his pocket, so why not? I'm suing everybody.
I just
May
wish,
as well.
I'm like, can we just fucking stop suing people? Like, unless it's a genuine issue,
Yeah.
please.
Dude, some people make a living suing people all the
Yeah.
time.
This shit's
You'll hear them
just
too. They're always in the
ridiculous.
ghetto, or they're always like white trash motherfuckers, like waiting on this settlement from a slip and fall, or they got like a hair in their food and they're suing, or they, you know what I
It
mean?
made me choke.
It made me. I didn't like it. Or
Maybe take regular bites instead of just shoveling it all in your face.
Right.
the crazy thing is these fucking lawyers make people believe that anything that you go through that is emotional in any way could be sued for. Mm-hmm. Not
Yeah, but
realizing
then the
that
system proves them right.
I know, that's what the fucked up thing about it is, man. That's crazy. It's
Well,
like those
but with
people
our-
suing about the circumcision.
Yeah.
And some of them won.
Yeah, that's
because they
insane.
said that they were.
They didn't consent.
They didn't consent. And they cut their fucking dick skin, and now they're getting a settlement. They won.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, think about it.
Come on.
If it were, if it was female circumcision, which people in America,
Those are two
they hate that shit.
very different fucking things.
No.
Actually,
Absolutely
I
very
actually
different
like not
fucking
having-
things.
One's a little more grisly than the other, but you're still cutting a part of my dick off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
well,
like
and
not having
I-
extra dick skin.
I
My
don't
favorite.
think that men should be circumcised. I think it's fucking
What?
barbaric and ridiculous. But
What?
because the actual act itself, this is a conversation.
I want to be
that-
a dick skin cutter. I want to be the guy that cuts the dick
No,
skin.
but they are for
Little baby
sure
dick skins.
not the same thing. Just like the conversation of vasectomy versus tubes tied being the same thing. No, y'all should get your fucking tubes
I'll
tied.
do
your vasectomies.
I'll do it. Put a
That's
fucking
ridiculous.
scar tissue. Put the thing in my nutsack.
Well,
I'll
I
take
mean,
it. One for the team.
but
baby
it's
dick
still-
skins.
It's like, the brutality of one is higher than the other,
Absolutely.
but the principle is the same.
I don't agree with that either.
It's removal
let's say
of
this.
bodily shit
Yeah.
against the will of the individual.
It's more pleasurable
But-
for the
'Cause, I
dick
mean, if it
skin
was-
to be cut.
If it was a finger,
It's
let's
not
say on
pleasurable.
dudes, they take a pinky.
Yeah.
Chicks, they take a middle finger.
That's not the same thing at all. Because your dick still works and they're done for different reasons.
It doesn't matter.
It does.
It's
It
the fact that-
absolutely
No.
does. It completely fucking matters. Whoa.
My eyes. Hey, it does matter. Like it's for
The
a
reason
pleasurable
behind
thing.
it.
Yeah, or because you're Jew or non-Jew, or so, I don't know what. I don't even know why I was circumcised. Like, why did you feel the need to put a blade to my dick? I
Where
don't
did
understand.
this
it.
ever start? Why?
I don't know.
I have
Who
no
come
Damn
along?
Jews.
Who come along and was like, hey, you know what would be cool if we just start. But I think it was to honor our dicks looking a lot like mushrooms, because back then they were a sacred thing.
It
And
came
when-
back to psychedelics
Oh,
for
always.
sure.
when a mushroom's first born, it looks a lot like a baby dick. And they were like, we want our dicks to look more like that. So let's cut this extra skin off and reveal the head.
That's
Like a mushroom.
Yep.
Like a mushroom.
I don't know. I was trying to tie it back.
Conversation over, because that's definitely how it started.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I
If
could.
not, we just changed history.
I just want
Right?
to start some new shit, like cutting my nipples off.
No.
And just be like, hey.
Can we just not cut our bodies?
Maybe. I don't know.
Please?
Be helpful.
Can we leave dick skin and
Dick
clits where they
skin.
go?
Damn, dude.
They're on the body. Stop removing them from
Stop
people.
removing them. I don't know, man. I don't know if we can ever get to a point where we stop cutting little baby dicks, but maybe we should try to get there. And let them
Yeah.
decide when they get older. You can decide when you get older, hey, I don't want this. Go get it cut off.
Get it out of here.
Get it out.
I'm done with this.
Get it out of here.
Although they do say that for people who get circumcised later in life, it significantly reduces their ability to feel pleasure
God
at that
damn
point.
it.
You don't notice it because you've grown up your whole life without it, so it
Motherfucker.
just feels the way it feels. But you
Yeah.
go from having the skin to removing the skin, and some people lose like all sensation essentially.
This is very insightful, man.
Mm-hmm.
But that just then is it makes the female and the male more similar. Because it's been my understanding that they do the female circumcision to reduce sexual pleasure.
Right.
And then in the older dudes, you say the sensation pretty much is gone.
Yeah, but they're not doing it to remove sexual pleasure. It's just like a byproduct of it.
The idea behind it shouldn't really matter. It's like, I don't like the idea of hate crimes. Mm-hmm. It's like, I don't give a fuck about your intent. If you murder this guy, that's what matters.
I feel like intent definitely matters. Because I need to know why. What if you killed him because he was trying to kill your family? Okay, well, murder is murder.
For the purposes of understanding, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like with the idea of getting rid of greed within capitalism. Mm-hmm. It's like, so we can make a change. Yes, it's important. But I don't think it should have an impact on the sentencing.
I do, for sure.
Why?
Why? Because if you're trying to protect someone...
Yeah.
You should be allowed. If someone tries to come in my house and take over my family, I'm shooting you in the fucking face, and I shouldn't get in trouble for that.
But that's different.
Because
that's
you don't
protection. Protection is different from intent of act. You reacted in that situation.
Right.
If I take an act and like proactively go out and shoot somebody, it shouldn't matter why. It doesn't matter if they're black, gay, white, my ex-best friend,
right,
my ex-girlfriend. I still killed them. Proactively.
Right.
Reactionarily, it's fine.
Well, I mean, and that's premeditated. Like, there's no good reason to premeditatively murder somebody.
Well.
There's not.
There's no good reason.
There's just...
I just feel like it's different, because proactive and reactionary are different things.
Oh, they definitely
And they should have
are.
different standards. But why I proactively do something terrible shouldn't matter with regards to penalization. It's good to understand it. That way we can help shape minds in the future, but, you know.
I also think even if, like, let's just say that we agree completely in this, I guess, topic.
Yeah.
It still is going to impact outcome in sentencing. Unfortunately, it's just part of human nature. If I know, okay, you did this because of this reason, and I agree with it, even if it's fucked up, I agree with it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, okay, well, I'm less harsh on you because I get it. I'm the same way. I would have done it.
Well, that's why we should have objective sentencing.
Well, we're supposed to. It just doesn't work that way.
Okay, but then...
because people suck.
And then we can make the argument that it's human nature to be like this. But then we have to decide, do we want to rise above human nature and evolve? Or do we want to make excuses for why we're short-sighted and small-minded?
We definitely need to evolve. And I'd like to say, I feel like I'm pretty objective for the most part. And when I said I wouldn't sentence you, I didn't literally mean me. Because I wouldn't. I'm not going to let that shit rule how I sentence someone. But
I wouldn't want to be a judge. I wouldn't be able to sentence nobody.
That'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. I think it would be, but
I don't know.
You have to make the final decision of somebody, especially when you're given life or a death sentence. You have to make that. You are the person that is ruling over another person's life. Instead of like helping that person, you just want to send them away to prison and be like, oh, fuck them.
I guess.
You know.
Fuck them.
Fuck them.
I do have mixed feelings about it.
I
feel like
tough.
I'd be very good at it because I'm good at being objective, but I really am uncomfortable with the idea of sending somebody to prison just because of...
You stay awake at night. What if I was wrong?
Yeah, like, exactly. There's always the possibility that you're wrong.
There are a lot of innocent people.
Yes, unless you have a video of the situation occurring, which, let's just face it, doesn't fucking happen.
Even in legal standards, that's technically considered hearsay.
That's stupid.
I know.
Well, no, because they
Come
proved,
on.
we watched a documentary that said it proved that it could look a certain way on the video, but it's not actually that way, and they proved that with a group of people saying that, and most of these people guessed it wrong based on the video.
It was the dude's height. And there was even a thing
that's
measuring...
what they convicted him on.
Yeah, that's what they convicted him on. It clearly wasn't the guy. 100% was not him. But all the people who watched it were like, that's him.
That was him.
Sure.
You're stupid. That's the problem.
I don't trust half the
People are
people
fucking
in the world
stupid.
to order me a Big Mac from McDonald's.
No.
I definitely don't want to put my life or anybody else's life in the hands of 12 stupid motherfuckers.
No.
I think we need to change the definition then of what makes up a jury. Instead of a jury of your peers, we need to say a jury of your functionally intelligent
Highly
peers.
Yeah.
intelligent peers that have to take an IQ test before
Yeah.
they fucking do it.
But then we'd have smart people that are pissed that they're being excluded. Why don't you make the dumb motherfuckers do this?
Right.
Why I gotta miss work?
Well, and if you're going to do a jury of your peers, I feel like they should go to a substance abuse facility and get substance abuse
yeah.
counselors who have the same education level, yes,
That'd be
and
good.
similar experiences. Because like if you went to my work and got, which you don't know her, but Emily we both grew up in Indiana. We both have very similar attitudes, perspectives, education, everything.
Yeah.
I would trust her completely to convict me, and I'd be comfortable with it.
Yeah.
I
That bitch did it.
yeah,
Did that shit.
All right, fair.
fair. All right, I can't even be mad. I love you.
Yeah. She
Shout out
understands
to
the
Emily.
context.
P, what up, girl? But no, I think that's how it should be. You go in and you literally find people in the same.
Build
Yes,
and
everything.
perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever's being put to trial, like, you know, if it was a drug charge or if it was murder and
Yeah.
stuff like that, you have to spend time with that and see other cases, how they played out.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a lot of innocent people that are sitting in prison
Yeah.
for no goddamn reason just because you put the fate in 12 people's hands.
Because you had fake titties, and well, that means she murdered somebody.
Murder!
I was
Murderer!
thinking about that kind of thing.
God, that shit makes me want to just murder people.
I don't know,
I'm
man.
going to find that woman and shoot her in the face.
Oh, but then okay, so with the like the lawyers and shit, you know, I was thinking if I get wrongfully accused of something and I can't afford a good lawyer,
Oh,
then
forget about it.
I'm just
yeah.
given a lawyer.
Yeah.
Then I'm probably fucked.
Yeah.
You're fucked.
Does that equate to a medical treatment like that I couldn't afford?
Yep. I'm saying
Yeah.
yes.
But
because
does it?
Same thing. Yes.
Okay.
Because they are appointing this
Yeah.
lawyer to you that is trading you with the paid lawyer guy. I've seen it happen a million times in Indiana because their paid and their public defenders are both in the same. So they just trade similar cases, right? Doesn't matter if you're guilty or not. Same with your health care is the same way. They're going to trade you off. Like they're going to take the person and give the person with money and health insurance, all
Yeah.
that.
It all
better
comes down
treatment.
to your
They always
life.
do. All they got to do for you in the emergency
For
room,
my
if you come
fucking
in,
life.
they just have to get you stable. That's it. They don't have to take care of none of your problems.
Right.
Get you stable, send you out the door, and say fuck them.
I need to know that the reason you came in for is not what's going to kill you, essentially. That's what it is.
They're not there to help you, and neither are the public defenders. Forget about it. If you're on trial for anything and you actually have to go
Yeah.
to trial, your public defender is not going to take the extra time necessary to study your case. He's going to show up on the day, look at the notes, and be like, "Oh, well, you're fine."
I
It's like
used
cramming
to-
for a test the night before.
I swear, dude,
Yeah.
they're terrible.
I used to try and call his. I ended up paying to get him a fucking lawyer because I would try to call her, could never get a hold of her, ever. She never went and saw him. He never fucking saw her until right before they walked out.
Yeah.
But once I paid for a lawyer, I talked to him all the time. I
Immediately.
had his personal cell phone number. I could call him anytime I wanted, and he'd call back at 5 p.m. once
Yeah.
court was out.
5
Every
p.m.
time. Yeah. It
Yeah,
was-
man, I don't know. So if it goes back to if we're all a part of one single conscious singularity,
Mm-hmm.
all a part of this bigger conscious, right?
Right.
So the thing is, they're like, well, can life ever get better? Well, it would take such a long period of time that you wouldn't be able to conceive how long it'd take for the world to gain this one perspective,
Right.
because the bad in the world will outweigh the good for some reason. It's just you can't, because whatever you do affects the entire world. So say there's 1 million of you doing some wrong shit and pumping in greed and anger and hate into the world. That's going to take a long time for all that stuff to weed out and for them to have their eyes open and get back to this oneness and stuff. I mean, putting 12, juries of your peers or whatever.
Yeah.
That's you're pitting 12 people against the one person. Like,
Right.
I feel like you need extreme facts to convict. Not only that, but you need extreme facts to charge them and take them to jail.
Yeah.
Like they have to have the gun in their hand or something like that. Other than that, you should be able to fight that shit on the street.
On the street, yeah.
And you should be out for that because the minute they lock you up, you're guilty. Everybody that fucking seen my shit, which I was guilty. But
right. But if you weren't.
If I wasn't, I was fucked.
No one actually fucking knew that.
That's like those people
Based on the
that...
mugshot, I would have assumed you did it.
And this is the thing. My friends, while I was locked up, I had these two friends, right? They got a bunch of their shit stolen. Somebody broke into their house. And my name was mentioned from the detectives. Do you know this guy? But I was locked up during the time this happened. So I got the blame for all that shit, too. I got the blame for so much shit that I didn't do.
Right.
And the shit I did, that's fine. But once you're convicted or once you're charged, people are like, oh, well, he did everything.
Yeah.
Like anything in this
Otherwise, you wouldn't
area,
be in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything in this area, he did. The minute you go to jail, they're like, yep, he fucked everything up.
This vaccine gave my kid autism. Oh, it drained my bank account, too.
Drain my bank.
It made me lose my job.
Yeah.
It made me crazy.
And then it's just like a boulder going down a hill, dude.
Hell
Just
yeah.
fucking.
You didn't
it's
even
gonna
get
wreck
it. It was
everything.
communicable. I got it from my kid.
Got it from my kid.
I
I got this bankroll zero from my kid.
And until the world stops pitting each other against each other, we're never going to be any different. As long as I feel like that I need to be better than you or the couple next door or whatever, in any way,
Right.
we're going to be in a terrible spot.
Well, and especially in the situation of like jury duty, like a lot of companies don't pay
They don't pay you shit. Yeah.
and the court's not going to pay you, not a livable wage.
$12
So
a
most
day.
people are like, can we just get the fuck out of here?
Yeah, so they're just going to be like, convict him. If there's one guy that's like, I'm not going to convict, I don't think it,
Yeah.
they're just like, all right, fuck it. We'll all get on the same page. Let's go home.
Well, they have
12
to
angry men.
provide the evidence.
Yeah.
And part of the problem is people don't think about that.
No.
Like, I can think that you are guilty as shit, but if they don't have the evidence, doesn't
You
matter. I
ain't guilty.
can't convict you because
Yeah.
that's what the judicial system is.
Yeah, I don't
But
know,
people
man.
fucking do it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those that it's not good. It's going to take a very long
I'm
time
clinging
to
to
change
this.
that.
I'm gonna bring down the system with my opposition to this.
Yeah.
That's not how it works, buddy. Well,
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
I'm doing it. You can't make me not.
But we're all not getting paid our proper amount. Well, I don't have a job.
Yeah.
Fuck
I don't
you.
give a shit.
I would like to be in
Bitch,
that
I'm
situation,
rich.
though.
I'm fine.
They're feeding me. I'm good.
That's what I always think. I'm getting food. I'm good.
Food. All right. That was another episode of Wildly Uninteresting Podcast, yo.
Podcast.
We appreciate you listening. If you listened all the way through, if you didn't, fuck you.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
If you skip to the end, suck a dick.
Yeah, If
Yeah.
you skip to the end, I don't have anything clever to say.
If
Fuck
you
yeah.
didn't listen, you'll never hear this. So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
yes. So it doesn't matter.
I don't know,
Leave it.
maybe the vibes will get them.
The vibes are coming at you.
I'm
one
not
of
even
your
asking
friends
for
didn't listen to
subscribing
this.
or anything.
You-
Just fucking share the podcast on your
Yeah.
goddamn Facebook so we just grow the channel. And if you want to hear something, put in the fucking comments. But other
Yeah.
than that, thank you for listening. It's episode 36.
This is Friday, damn it, y'all.
Wildly Uninteresting Podcast.
Yeah.
Just turn.